Hey everybody, it's Janice with Creating Through Chaos. I'm going to use this board that I got at a thrift store for $1.50. It's just a plain board. They had a whole stack of them, so I grabbed one. And I'm going to use my antique wax and just stain the whole board with this color. And I'm doing this just to protect the board as well as give it that dark look that I'm looking for. You don't have to do the whole board. I did. You can only do the edges. That's totally up to you. But now that I have it all stained, I'm going to take this peace sign that's from Dollar Tree, and I'm also going to stain that with the antique wax as well. And these are in the Crafter's Square section. They have one that says love, home, and peace. And I think there's another one that says hope. And so I'm just going to give this a quick stain with the antique wax, and then I'm just going to use a paper towel to wipe off the excess. I did the same on the board that I just did as well. Once I have that all stained, I'm going to take these two little wooden stars that I have, and I'm going to stain those with the antique wax as well. So I'm just going to give them a quick coat and then set everything aside to dry. Then I took 2 pieces of printer paper and made it about the size of my wooden sign, and I am going to lay it on top of a piece of sweater, and then I'm going to cut that sweater out the size of my paper. And I'm just using the paper as a pattern so that I know about the size to cut the sweater. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. The sweater kind of kept moving and the paper kept moving, but it was fine. I just needed to know the about size of it. So once I got that sweater all cut out, I'm going to lay it on top of the board that I had. And it's a little bit longer, and that's fine because I wanted to be able to stretch it out a little bit. And I'm going to take some Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm just going to cover the whole board with this. And then I'm going to use a paintbrush to kind of spread it all around. So as you can see, I'm covering almost the whole board. So like I said, when you stain, you don't have to go all the way across the whole board. I wanted to just to protect the board. But if you wanted to do just the edges, that's fine too. So as you can see, I'm just kind of making this so that it's all even. And then I'm going to lay my sweater right on top of that once I get that all on there. So I'm just going to lay that down. And then I'm just going to start pulling it to the edges and getting it all even on there. I want just a little bit of that stain to stick out, but I want the sweater to cover the majority of it. So as you can see, I'm just kind of pulling it where it needs to be and getting it adjusted all the way to the edges. And then pressing it down to make sure that it's stuck well. And then as you can see at the bottom, I have that big piece that's still there and it's not going to quite fit. So I'm just going to trim that off. So I'm just going to kind of pull it as much as I can and then trim off the excess. So I'm just going to kind of pull it down and then trim it. And then once I have it all trimmed, I'm just going to kind of press down and get it to where I want on the end as well. So again, as you can see, I'm just trimming off little bits, kind of pulling at the same time. And I don't want this to be perfect because this is supposed to be rustic looking. So now I'm just going to kind of arrange it how I want it. And that is it for that part. And it was pretty much almost dry by the time I was done with that, but I'm going to let it fully dry. Then I'm going to take my peace sign and this velvet green ribbon from Hobby Lobby. I just cut a piece off and I'm going to put a part of it at the top here on the back and then run it along the side. So I'm just going to kind of pull it down and then glue it on the other side. Once I have that all on there, I'm just going to make sure that it's nice and even. Pull off any excess, like little fuzz that was from the velvet. And then I'm going to put some hot glue on the back of that, and then I'm going to glue that right to the center of the sign. So right on top of that sweater. I'm going to add that right to the center right there, making sure that I have it as even as possible. And then just kind of press it down. And then I'm going to take this little bow that I made out of the same velvet, and I'm going to line it up with the A so that it's in the center. And then I'm just going to set that right on top of that other piece of velvet strip. Once I had that all on there, I'm just going to kind of arrange my bow how I want it. And then I'm going to take those 2 stars that I stained, and I'm going to use one for the center of the A and then the other for the center of the P. And I did end up changing this at the end of the video. I added a green color to the A and the P, and I just didn't like the way that it looked, so I ended up going back to the stained. Next, I'm going to take some furniture tacks and I'm going to put those in each corner of the wood, right on top of the sweater. So I was having a hard time pushing it in. This wood was really, really hard. So once I got a few of them in, I grabbed a hammer and just banged down the other ones. So once I had a few of them on, I'm going to use my hammer to bang them in. And then I did one in that bottom left-hand corner as well. I'm just going to grab my hammer and get that in there on all of them. And I just got these furniture tags. I think they came from Hobby Lobby. And I think this turned out so super cute. I absolutely love it. And here you can see it with the stain. And then here it is with the green. I'm not sure which one I like better. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. I kind of like both. Just another option. You could do a maroon ribbon with maroon stars. That would be really cute too. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you to make one. And as always, don't forget to spread the chaos.